I am Renita Parks. Miss Renita Sparks is what I like to call myself. I am the special education teacher here at Harris. I also work close with RTI, our data, and everything here.
Everybody stand up and recite the student pledge. Talk pledge on 3. 1, 2, 3. It's our community, the Heritage community. People who we inspire
I almost took them in the 6th grade, say by themselves. They say, carry our silver flag. That's what we do, we carry our silver flag. Let's give a shout out to Miss Parks. Come on. Come on, we can do that. Let's give a shout out. This is our first program here in our school this year, and we want to thank Ms. Parks for putting it together, and her team, Ms. Valentine, and also the students. And we just want to celebrate them. We want to celebrate them. So again, let's be respectful, and let's enjoy what they put together for us for our Black history. Let's say amen.
Hello everybody, and thank you for coming out. I want to welcome you to our Black History program. African Neighbor program. Actually, today is a day like any other day. It's for us to celebrate us, who we are, our identity, our heritage, our history, and our culture. I hope that you learned something new, and I hope you have an elevating experience that leaves you lighter, brighter, and feeling more brilliant and excellent than you did when you walked in those doors. As we explore and learn more about our history and those who came before us, I'd like for you to learn even more about yourself. We must be able to look beyond our present circumstances. We must be able to look deep within. We must be able to see our excellence. Excellence in ourselves, in our children, in our leaders, in our teachers. We must open our eyes, and we must see it. See the excellence. But if you don't see it, if we don't see it, that means we got work to do. We got work to do. If we're not seeing the excellence, let's work on each other. Let's get better. Let's do better. Every day, every opportunity we have, we can get better and we can change things. See, that's what a good leader does. They can see what's not there. They can look beyond the circumstances and they can see. And that's the work I don't mind leading. That's what this program is about. It is to work in us and work out of us those things so that we can be all that. We can be excellent. We must partner with one another to do better. So as we go through this program, look upon the faces of our children. Look upon the faces of our participants. Pay attention. Zone in. Tap in. This is the vision that this program leads. We must learn from our history, value our present, and transform our futures. Self-knowledge is self-awareness. The more we know about ourselves, the more we can influence reality. Let's start with this traditional African practice that warriors from the past used to shout out their own names or the names of their tribes, asserting their courage and strength. The chanting of Zimbabwe is significant because it is a call to action and a reminder of our African heritage and our cultural identity. It is a way for us to connect with our roots and draw strength and inspiration from our ancestors. Please welcome Mr. Rogers to the stage as he leads our warrior cry.
I too sing America. They said between the kitchen and company comes. But I laugh, eat well, grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody dare say me, eat the kitchen. Dim inside, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. Just like in Zimbabwe.
trace their DNA back to the people of West Africa. One of the world's greatest historical figures came from West Africa, and his name was Mansa Musa. I'll be speaking on his legacy a little bit today. Africa has always been a source of some of the Earth's most valuable resources. Today, our lives would be very different and possibly more difficult if it were not for minerals from Africa. From our smartphones to our gaming systems, we wouldn't be able to provide these products without these minerals. One of the main minerals in Africa is gold. Gold is one of the most precious metals in the history of humanity. Even now, in 2023, you can see people with signs that say, "We buy gold." It has always been sought after by adventurers, governments, and even ordinary people. One person who controlled the largest reserve of gold in history was Mansa Musa. 700 years ago, Mansa Musa ruled over the Mali Empire from 1312 until 1337. In those 25 years, he expanded the kingdom that he inherited and created one of the richest empires ever. He is most famous for a journey he took in 1324 from West Africa into Mecca, a city that is located in modern-day Saudi Arabia. This trip took almost 2 years and included around 60,000 men. They were scholars, soldiers, slaves, and his royal court. To give you an idea, when John Morant plays at the FedEx Forum, it's a sellout, and it's about 18,000 people. If you multiply all those people by 3, then you have an idea of how many people that Mansa Musa had on his journey with him. During the journey, the legend of Mansa Musa grew from town to town around the Mediterranean Sea. He handed out gold to the poor, and he built churches along the way. He had 8,000 soldiers with him, and they each carried a gold staff that weighed about 3 pounds. The wealth and power on display literally put Mansa Musa on the map. Even after his death, his image was placed on a map to represent Africa. This was the most important map at the time because it represented what was then called the known world. Over 100 years before Christopher Columbus sailed toward the New World. Mansa Musa's legacy, however, is not just gold. It's what he did with the gold. He used this gold for trade to get resources for his people, and he also built schools for the children as well as universities. Education was extremely important in Mali, and it was home to some of the most prestigious colleges and universities. Scholars from all over the Mediterranean region came to cities like Gao and Timbuktu to learn science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Some of the same things that we learn today. As of today, the richest man in the world is worth about $91 billion. The best estimate that they can give for Mansa Musa's wealth was around $400 billion. However, we'll never know for certain. As an African American, his story is special because a lot of our history starts with slavery. Before we became African Americans, we were mostly West African people. We had a culture, we had history, and we had an existence. I was out of high school when I first heard of Mansa Musa's story. So for me to be able to share with you all today makes it very important. His story led me to study on my own about our history. And that's something that I encourage each and every one of you all to do. Because there's nothing more valuable than self-worth. Thank you.
Right along. So next we have a poem from a young man I recently met named Prophecy. And right after Prophecy speaks, then we will hear Hey Black Child by Imani Grisham, Allison Murphy, Tyra Sykes, and Jeremiah Smith.
I mean, I think it just blows my mind the fact that we learning about Black history in April when they just in February. It's 28 days, which is the shortest month of the year. So I mean, that's really important that we understand where we come from so we can know where we're going. Because this is Black excellence everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's synonymous with Black excellence? Black unity. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody achieves excellence by themselves. We all need help. So if we collectively unite and collectively decide if we're going to build each other up instead of pulling each other down, and we'll see excellence everywhere because within every last one of you is excellence. But with that, I'm going to do this poem. Now, it's designed to only be 1 minute long. 1 minute long, it's about Black history, the importance of understanding and studying and learning your history. It's called 28 Days. 1 minute long. 28 days is just not enough time to learn about or even discuss us. For us is more than just a dream by Dr. King or Malcolm X quote stated by any means. I mean 1 month seems hardly time to learn godly, but hardly if I hunger for the knowledge, but y'all about to starve me. I lust for the truth like Sojourner, made it so red like that Turner, and I wonder what it'd be like if I traveled throughout the Underground Railroad, hang with Harriet and him, the free enslaved, hang with Delaney and Douglas and others who paved the way. See, 28 days is not enough time. Even in a leap year, we only get 29 days to rewind and try to find this history. It was hidden for mysteries, their codes and hieroglyphics, and unlike the mysteries of my story, it was written on papyrus from Isis and Osiris, and said in Nasarud, the Timbuktu, the Kemet Nu. See, it's through universe, science, mathematics, history, writing. We mapped out the stars and spirituality shine break from a set to the side, jet black. Time's up. See, just like 1 minute is not enough time to finish this poem, 28 days is not enough time to learn about your history because it's just that great. Learn where you came from so you can know where we're going. My name is Prophecy, please.
Jamal, you wanted to TikTok that we learned? Yeah. Ready, set, go. Oh my goodness, Mister, I can't do no, I can't even do my math. Hey, Black child, do you know who you are? Who you really are? Do you know who you can be? What you want to be? If you try to be, what you can be? Hey, Black child, do you know where you're going? Where you're really going? Do you know you can learn what you want to learn? If you try to learn what you can learn. Hey, Black child, do you know you're strong? I mean, really strong? Do you know you can do what you want to do? If you try to do what you can do. Hey, Black child, be what you can be. Learn what you must learn. Do what you can do. And tomorrow your nation will be what you want it to be. Or Pan-African flag. Some people call it the Marcus Garvey flag. It was created in 1920. Why? To show freedom, pride, and power of blacks all over the world. Who is Marcus Garvey? He was a serious-making activist, journalist, and speaker, and founder of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. That's cool, but why do we have a flag? It was created, the Pan-African flag was created in response of the anti-black folk song called Every Race Has a Flag Except the Blue. Have you heard it? No. You need to listen to it on YouTube. So the flag is a unified symbol for black people all over the world? Yep, it connects us back together as one nation. After hundreds of years of slavery and racism, tell me more about it. Each color has a meaning. The red means the blood that unites all black people. The black stripe represents our beautiful black skin and strength, and the green represents fertility. You know, our possibilities, our excellence, our future, and the Africa country. So we're flying the Marcus Garvey chain after this flag today for African liberation and black freedom. We're flying it today as a symbol of unity and pride. Because I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Say it with me. I'm black and I'm proud.
Starting 25 Who can go against me? I'm the king of the world. I must be great. When you come to the ring, be ready to fight.
Everybody, Tatiana and Jamarcius is about to recite the mountaintop speech, Dr. King's last speech before the assassination.
I'm delighted to see each of you here. This shows that you are determined to go on anyhow. Something is happening in Memphis. Something is happening in our world. I can remember when Negroes were just going around so often scratching where they didn't itch and laughing where they were not tickled. But that day is all over. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
That is all this whole thing is about. We aren't engaged in any argument, in any protest, and in any negative arguments with anybody. We are saying that we are determined to be excellent men and women. We are saying we are determined to be people. We are saying that we are God's children and that we don't have to live like we're forced to live.
Now what does all this mean in this great period of history? It means that we've got to stay together. We've got to stay together and maintain unity. You know, whenever Pharaoh wanted to prolong the period of slavery in Egypt, he had a favorite formula for doing it.
What was that?
He kept the slaves fighting amongst themselves, but whenever the slaves got together, something happened in Pharaoh's court. He could not hold the slaves in slavery. When the slaves get together, that's the beginning of getting out of slavery. Now let's maintain unity.
We are masters in our nonviolent movement in disarming police forces. They don't know what to do. And we aren't going to let any mate stop us. That couldn't stop us. And we went on before the dogs, we would look at them. And we go on before the water hoses, and we look at it. We just go on singing.
Over my head, I see freedom in the air.
And then we'd be thrown in the paddy wagons. And sometimes we would stack them down like sardines in a can. They would throw us in, the old bull say, "Take them off." And they did. And we would go in the paddy wagon singing, "We shall overcome." And every now and then we'd get to jail, and we see the jailers looking through their windows, being moved by our prayers and being moved by our words and our songs. Now, Memphis, we gotta go on just like that. I call upon you to be with us as we fight this illegal, unconstitutional injunction. All we say to America is, be true to what you said on paper. Don't deny us our basic First Amendment privileges.
Somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly, somewhere I read of the freedom of speech, somewhere I read of the freedom of press, somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest for rights. And so just as I say, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. We are going on.
We need all of you. Somehow, we must say, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to deal with the problems of the poor.
It's all right to talk about the long white roads over yonder and all of its symbolism, but ultimately, people want some suits and dresses and shoes to wear down here. It's all right to talk about the streets flowing with milk and honey, but God has commanded us to be concerned about the slums down here and his children who can't eat 3 square meals a day. It's all right to talk about the New Jerusalem, but one day God's preachers must talk about the New York, the New Atlanta, the New Philadelphia, the New Los Angeles, and the New Memphis, Tennessee. This is what we have to do.
Now the other thing we'll have to do with this, always anchor our external direct action with the power of economical draw. Now, we are poor people individually. We are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Never stop and forget that collectively, that means all of us together, collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world, with the exception of 9. Did you
ever think of that?
After you leave the United States, Soviet Russia, Great Britain, West Germany, France, and I can name the others, the blacks are collectively richer than most nations of the world. We have an annual income of more than $30 billion a year, which is more than all the exports of the United States, and more than the national budget of Canada.
Did you know that?
That's power right there, if you know how to fool it.
We don't have to argue with anybody. We don't have to curse and go around acting bad with our words. We don't need any bricks and bottles. We don't need any Molotov cocktails. We just need to withdraw economic support. This was Martin's last speech.
This is Martin Luther King's last speech.
And the struggle is still
continues.
They were awesome. Thank you. And these protesters up front, they are representing the Memphis sanitation strike, because remember, that's why Dr. King even came back to Memphis in that April. He came back to support us as we were supporting the 2 garbage men who were crushed during that time. Next, we have Kalia Evans, on a positive note to show our resilience. She's going to be speaking with the poem Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. And right after Kalia, our dancers will be coming up.
You may write me down in history with your bitter twisted lies. You may try me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sadness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Cause I walk when I got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the tides, just like hope swimming high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my self-surprise? Does my hardness offend you? Don't you take it off the heart, cause I laugh because I got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance and I've got diamonds at the medium of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear the tide. Leaving behind like the terrors of fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
DJ AKM, é assim, gente. São blocos da cabeça. Hey, shit, let's go, shit. Block, 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 block. Ah, shit, ah. Block, 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 block. Ah, shit, ah. DJ AKM, come. Vamos, back, obrigado, come.
All right, next we have our inspirational acknowledgement. Now this is my friend, this is my counterpart. She keeps me up, she keeps me encouraged. She keeps me moving forward with supporting our people and doing the hard work. Her name is Rachel Lawson-Jones. She is a teacher, but she's also a school owner, a school founder. She owns an independent school, the Cool Nerds, and she's here with our inspirational acknowledgement for today. Give her a hand as she comes on, Rachel Jones.
And Cool Nerds, we got a few of them back there too though, but hey, how y'all doing? Y'all, this was an excellent program. Y'all give it one more time for this part. This is my dog, y'all, that's my dog. Y'all give it up for yourselves. Well, y'all just give it up for yourselves. Okay, everybody look at you, point to yourself and say, I love my beautiful black self. Say that one more time, let me hear you. Now turn to your neighbor and say, you beautiful too. Okay, good. That's good. That's good. That's real good. So, my name is Rachel Jones, as she stated. I used to be a school teacher, and I didn't like what I saw what was going on. I just didn't like what I saw, so I guess what I did? I ain't fuss, I ain't fight. I just threw them too, and I went and created my own program. So for about 8 years now, I've been running my own school. I'm also an herbalist. I'm also a doula. Do you guys know what a doula is? Tell me what a doula is. Can you say that a little loud so everybody can hear you? That's exactly right. Did y'all hear what she said? I don't know if y'all know why that's important. But do you know why that's important, especially for black families, black women, and black fathers? Anybody know? Anybody know what's happening to black women when they go into the hospitals? You tell me. You raise your hand, girl. Speak up.
White people didn't want to touch black folks.
That's a really good point. She said because white people don't want to touch black folks. It's a little more complex than that, but did y'all know that in nursing schools, where these people are going to school, that in the books that they are actually telling them that black women don't feel pain? So when a lady is having a baby and she says she's feeling pain, they don't believe her, they don't respond to her, so guess what's happening as a result? The ladies are dying, some of the babies are dying. So if they killing them in the hospitals and they killing our men and our boys in the streets, don't that mean we in a war? We in a war, y'all. That's what I came to tell y'all today, that we in a war. And it's your job, it becomes your job to get all the tools and the resources that you need to fight this war. And you can't fight them with the guns, and what our kids doing is turning the guns on each other, but not on the people that's been oppressing us this whole time. That's a backwards war. That's an inside out. That's what they done did to your mind. And so it becomes your responsibility to free your mind. You can't even tell me, well, my teachers didn't tell me this, my parents didn't tell me this, or the people at church didn't tell me this. You know what? Because y'all got one of these little things. You could Google how to be a man, how to be responsible, how to be mature. But that's what happens when you start teaching yourself. So I literally created a school where I taught my students to learn to teach themselves. And so this is what we say every day. I heard y'all pledge, and I really liked it, but I want y'all to hear what we say in our school every day. So when I say, and my guys in the back, if y'all can do it for me too, when I say, why do I seek knowledge, I want y'all to hear what they are saying. So y'all tell me, why do y'all seek knowledge?
The eyes of the world are upon me, and I'm blessed to keep my eye on my center. Knowledge of my history speaks to me, looks like me, and wants for me what I want for myself. I'll quickly return to my center for a sound mind, for peace within my family, and new creations within my community. I'm committed to staying on the path to my center to accept the challenge of scholarship and knowledge of uncovering my true self. I'll create a consciousness of victory. Knowledge of my history paves the pathway for understanding myself and my future.
All right. So I actually brought them on stage with me too, so they can share a little bit, not just about what we do, but so you can be inspired to learn to do for you. So I don't teach them everything that they need to know. They do have other teachers. I teach them to teach themselves. They got to read and write where we're going to. You know why? Because you got to be able to read your contract. You got to be able to make sure nobody's stealing from you. You got to make sure that you know who you are. How many of y'all, this is your first time today ever hearing about Mansa Musa? I see a few little hands. How many of y'all today, this is your first time hearing about Marcus Garvey? I see a few more hands, but how come you haven't figured that out yourself? You guys have access to all the information. It's really about you going out to get it from yourself. I'm gonna tell y'all what I learned when I was a teacher. I didn't learn how to run no school, I learned what not to do. I didn't learn what to do, I learned what not to do, and I did the opposite. When everybody else going that way, you might want to be like, and go the other way. Because typically, I ain't gonna take y'all to church, but this is what the Bible says. It says it's a real big wide path that a whole bunch of people are on, and that path leads to death. So when you follow the crowd, you literally can't even see the death ahead because of the crowd in front of you. Go the other way. Go the other way. So that's what we created our program to do. So I kind of want my young people to tell y'all, because I told y'all I was a virgin postpartum doula, but can y'all look around to my students? Can y'all raise your hand if you are also a virgin postpartum doula? Put it up out here. Y'all look behind you. Look in front of you. Check your virgin postpartum doula as well. Can you tell them about how much money you can make off of every baby? Yeah, we helping people, but how much money can you make off of each birth?
I think it's $5,000 to $10,000.
$500 to $1,500. It's about $500 to $1,500 per pregnant mama. So you help the families, but you also put some money in your pocket. So everything I learned, I get to bring it to them. So I'm gonna let them talk to you a little bit about just what it looks like when you can get knowledge for yourself and then be able to share it with others.
All right, speak to us now.
Hi, I'm Jada. I'm 16. I'm in the 12th grade, and
Tell us something good, Jay. Spark my children's brains.
the importance of education. You don't really have to know what you want to do right now, just as long as you have a plan. Just as long as you have a plan you know ways to make your own money, and getting yourself educated is the first step, because a lot of people don't know how many ways there are to set up your life in a successful way. So the retirement age is like 67 now, and it don't have to be that way. Miss Rachel, you're gonna retire for the second time at 42 years old. It's because she set her life up in a way to where she knows what she wants to do. She knew what she wanted to do and she did it, and now she has time to recover and take care of her family and do whatever she wants. You don't have to work a job.
Thank you, Jada. My name is Ella Davis. I am 16 years old. I'm also in the 12th grade. My advice to y'all is to stay centered and focused on you. Don't let other distractions and other people get to you, okay? And don't make dumb decisions because of influence, okay?
My name is Taylor. I'm 12 years old and I'm in the 8th grade. And kind of just what Ella said. My advice for y'all is to try to find y'all selves and try to really connect with your roots, because once you find out who you are, it's like, I'm trying to explain it, but it's like once you actually find out who you are, you will know what to do and what not to do. And yeah. Also, once you figure out who you are, you also feel freer to do the things that you always wanted to do, or you can find yourself in a space where you can figure out what you want to do, or who you want to be, or just who you are in a sense. If you don't know who you are, you don't know nothing.
Well, I have something to say. Also, there's going to be a lot of people, specifically white people, they're going to like to break you, okay? So that's why it's so important to know who you are. Don't let other people tell you who you are. You know who you are more than anybody else.
To find out who you are, it's really just, God is one of the biggest steps, but there's also educating yourself on your past. If you can figure out who the people were who came before you, you can figure out who you are and what you want to be and how you want to change the world around you.
I agree with Jada, but I also think you should find God, because God is within you. So if you want to know yourself, you better figure out who God is first.
Thanks, y'all. I'm gonna add to that. Okay, it looks like I got a little panel going. And if y'all happen to have any questions from them, I'd love to hear it. But I heard them talking about Mansa Musa and the fact that he brought in gold. And as you guys probably know, y'all can take gold and trade it on the markets or whatever, because gold is a very, very valuable commodity. But do you know what's more valuable than gold? What you say? What you say? Diamonds. No. Sometimes the price kind of go back and forth and up and down. But guess what's even more valuable than diamonds? Every last person in this room got it in you. Y'all know what it is? Melanin. Girl, you know a whole lot. You need to come to the cool nerds. What do you tell us about melanin? Come on up here and get this mic. Teach the people. Come teach the people that. You're the program now, baby. Good morning. She said melanin. Does everybody in here, she's going to come talk a little bit more about melanin. But do y'all know what melanin does? What does melanin do? It gives you your skin tone. Now, y'all live in a world where they tell you black ain't beautiful, or oh, you ugly, you dark skin, you lower. She better than you because she light skin. How can that be? Where if you actually looked at the value of melanin and compared it to the value of gold, did y'all know melanin is more valuable than gold and diamonds? What does that tell you about you? And if you don't believe me, when y'all get through school, or if y'all sneaking on the phone, Google it. Google the value of melanin, the dollar signs, the value changes every single day. So if melanin is valuable, where do y'all think they're getting this melanin from? Why do y'all think they're killing our people? They get the melanin from you. And we online giving them our TikTok dances and all of our little creativity for free. They're getting everything from you. So why don't you be the creators, the producers, the owners of what God gave you, right? What? Tell me more about melanin, baby. What's your name?
Victoria. I know that melanin is what people take your skin to make your skin color.
Okay. And when you get when the sun comes out, what happens when you get the sun?
You get darker.
And do you ever hear people make a joke about people when the sun, when they get dark in the summer? Oh, you done got black for the summer. Is it a bad thing? Is it a better thing?
A better thing.
All right. Very good. Thank you very much. Another thing I want to tell y'all, you can hang out with me because you can answer all my questions. One last thing I definitely want to tell y'all, because I know my time is up, I'll be telling y'all stuff all day long, but what they were talking about God, I don't know if y'all believe in God. If you don't, but let's just say God. Who was God's first creation? Adam. It was a man. What did God make Adam out of? Mud. What color is mud? Black, brown. All right. Where did they live? Adam and Eve. Where did they live? The Garden of Eden. What was the temperature like? How you know? How you know it's hot? Because how? It was described as pleasant, but how do you know the Garden of Eden is hot? One of my students said because it was located in Africa, which it was. How else do you know it's hot? What you say, they was in a garden, you know it's hot. But what kind of clothes did Adam and Eve have on? So was it hot or was it cold? If you go outside in July and it's hot, right now, and it's hot, with no clothes on, what color you gonna be? So what they keep talking about, knowing God and knowing yourself, God's original creation, just like you, look just like your neighbor. So you get to know God, so you can know the power that God gave you, and you can work with the gifts and the resources and the tools that God gave you to win this war that is being waged against us and our people. That is your responsibility to yourself, it's your responsibility to your children's children, and I hope that you learned some stuff today from Ms. Parks and this amazing program that's going to encourage you to keep taking those steps to set your people free. It was nice. Thank you guys for having us today.
Everybody, thank you so much for your time and attention. Our time is getting away, but we made it to the end of our program. Next, we're also about to get ready to stand and sing the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing. You should have gotten the words if you don't know it by heart. If you do, that laminated copy I worked hard on, have saved it. As Rachel said, teach your children's children, right? Make sure we are teaching one another and those in our community as well.
We're going to start dismissal after we get done and get everything settled. Students, we have to remain in the auditorium and remain orderly. We want the parents to exit first. We want the parents and our guests to exit first. Then we'll start with 8th grade. Then we'll start with 7th grade. Then we will start with 6th grade. If you have a sibling that you need to wait on, you're going to wait on outside the building, not in the building. You ought to walk straight on out the building once we start dismissal. All right.
Everybody stand.
Let's everybody stand quickly. Great job. Let's everybody have a seat.
Where's from you? How you doing?
Hey, I am just thrilled about today.
Okay.
It's been awesome. It was a lot of work, some resistance, but I made it through, and I am delighted about the outcome.
Okay, tell the people your name.
I am Renita Parks.
Uh-huh.
Miss Renita Parks is what I like to call myself.
All right, and your position at the school?
I am the special education teacher here at Harris. I also work close with RTI, our data, and everything here.
Okay, nice program.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to the next one.
Okay, I can't wait myself.
Thank you.
Thank you.